What if I told you that America's sweetheart pop star is suing a dying 85-year-old veteran for millions, while secretly renting his former home to one of Hollywood's biggest actors? That's exactly what's happening right now in Katy Perry's ugly $15 million mansion war. And the name caught in the crossfire is none other than Chris Pratt. For years, Perry has claimed this Montecito estate was uninhabitable after she took ownership. But court filings reveal a shocking twist. She's been leasing it out to Pratt and Katherine Schwarzenegger. And now, this little detail could blow up her entire case. The veteran's family says this proves her damages claim is nothing but smoke and mirrors, and they're pushing to drag Pratt into court as a key witness. With the penalty phase just days away, the question is Katy Perry's legal empire about to collapse in front of the world? The story starts back in July 2020, when Katy Perry purchased an ocean view mansion in Montecito, California, from Carl Westcott, a decorated U.S. Army veteran and founder of Westcott Communications. The sale price? A jaw-dropping $15 million. But just days after the deal, Westcott, who was recovering from surgery and suffering from a rare neurological condition, claimed he'd been heavily medicated at the time and didn't fully understand the transaction. His family insists he never truly wanted to sell, and that Perry's team pounced on his vulnerable state. Despite these claims, a court in late 2023 ruled that Westcott had been of sound mind during the sale, handing Perry the legal win. But instead of walking away, Perry escalated the fight, suing the veteran's family for $6 million in alleged damages, including unpaid rent, water damage, and even a fallen tree. That's when things took a bizarre turn. Perry's legal team argued the property had been uninhabitable due to the damages. But now, Westcott's lawyers have uncovered a bombshell. Chris Pratt and Katherine Schwarzenegger have been living in that very house. This single fact threatens to unravel Perry's narrative. If the home was fit for one of Hollywood's biggest stars, how could it be unlivable for Perry? Westcott's attorneys are pushing hard to have Pratt testify, arguing his rental proves Perry exaggerated or misrepresented the property's condition. And with the penalty phase looming on August 21st, this contradiction could be the opening blow that reshapes the entire case. Chris Pratt's unexpected role in this legal circus isn't just a random celebrity cameo. It could be the smoking gun that flips the entire case on its head. According to court documents, Pratt and his wife, Katherine Schwarzenegger, have been leasing the Montecito property for months, possibly even over a year. That alone raises uncomfortable questions. If Katy Perry's lawsuit hinges on the claim that the mansion was damaged, unsafe, and uninhabitable, why would she hand the keys to a fellow A-lister without hesitation? Westcott's legal team wasted no time seizing on this contradiction. They've already filed motions to subpoena Pratt as a material witness, demanding he reveal when he moved in, what state the house was in, and whether any repairs were actually made before his tenancy. If Pratt confirms the home was perfectly livable, Perry's $6 million damages claim could start crumbling in real time. But the optics are what's truly killing Perry in the court of public opinion. To many, it looks like a billionaire pop star is squeezing a disabled, bedridden veteran for millions, all while making extra cash by renting the disputed property to another Hollywood millionaire. Social media has already begun roasting Perry for the hypocrisy, and headlines have shifted from Katy Perry wins legal battle to Katy Perry suing a dying veteran while Chris Pratt rents his home. And remember, all of this is just the setup. The real explosion comes August 21st, when Perry will be forced to take the stand under oath. As the penalty phase approaches, the stakes couldn't be higher for Katy Perry, and the Chris Pratt connection might be the biggest wildcard yet. Westcott's attorneys are framing this not just as a real estate dispute, but as a case study in celebrity privilege and exploitation. Their argument is simple. Perry didn't just buy a house from a man in fragile health, she's now profiting from it while dragging his family through years of expensive legal battles. The timing of Pratt's rental is key. If records show he moved in before Perry filed her damages claim, it could paint her entire lawsuit as opportunistic. Even worse for Perry, Westcott's legal team is hinting they have photographic evidence of the home in pristine condition during Pratt's stay, a direct contradiction to Perry's portrayal of a damaged, uninhabitable property. Public reaction has been brutal. Online forums, TikTok breakdowns, and YouTube commentary channels have exploded with outrage. Phrases like "Hollywood greed at its worst" and "suing a veteran to pay for her lifestyle" have been trending. Perry's fanbase is fiercely defending her, but even some longtime supporters admit the optics are a PR nightmare. Chris Pratt, for his part, has stayed silent. But that silence might not last much longer. If the subpoena goes through, he'll have no choice but to testify, potentially putting him in a direct conflict with Perry's legal narrative. Sources close to Pratt say he never expected to be dragged into a high-profile celebrity versus veteran lawsuit, and privately, he's frustrated at being caught in the middle. And here's the kicker. If Pratt's testimony even slightly undermines Perry's claims, the court could drastically reduce or even throw out her $6 million demand. That wouldn't just be a legal setback, it would be a public humiliation. The closer we get to August 21st, the more explosive this case becomes. And now, it's not just about property damage or rental agreements. It's about credibility. Katy Perry's credibility, Chris Pratt's credibility, and the credibility of a legal system that's supposed to protect the vulnerable. Westcott's attorneys have made it clear they're not just going after Perry's $6 million claim, they're going after her public image. In their latest filings, they argue that Perry's actions demonstrate calculated exploitation of a man too ill to defend himself in real time. They've even hinted at introducing testimony from Westcott's doctors about his cognitive state in the days leading up to the sale, reigniting the moral outrage that first brought attention to this battle. Then there's the question of why Perry is pushing this so hard. Critics say it's not about the money, she's worth hundreds of millions, but about winning at all costs and setting a precedent that celebrities can steamroll legal opponents. The optics of suing a decorated veteran who's in hospice care are already bad, but combining that with the revelation that the home was good enough for Pratt's family to live in, that's political dynamite. Entertainment lawyers watching the case say the Pratt factor changes everything. A Hollywood witness with no financial stake in the outcome could hold massive sway with a jury. If Pratt testifies truthfully about the home's condition, Perry's case could unravel in a single afternoon. And if she loses, the headlines won't read "Perry's claim denied." They'll read "Katy Perry exposed." With days to go before she faces questions under oath, the question isn't whether this case will get ugly. It's how much of the damage will be legal and how much will be to her reputation. Win or lose in court, the narrative taking shape around this case is already devastating for her image. The entertainment world loves a redemption arc, but it also thrives on the downfall of the untouchable. And right now, Perry's public persona is being rewritten in real time as that of a powerful celebrity squeezing every drop from a dying man's estate. The Chris Pratt twist gives the story legs far beyond the legal pages. Hollywood insiders are whispering that Pratt isn't happy about his name being linked to the controversy, especially with his wholesome family man brand. He spent years cultivating an image as the approachable superstar, and getting subpoenaed into a case dripping with accusations of greed and exploitation could be brand poison. For Perry, the timing couldn't be worse. She's juggling a Las Vegas residency, new music, and endorsements that rely heavily on her relatable pop icon status. The optics of testifying against an 85-year-old war veteran in a case where the property was allegedly uninhabitable, yet rented to another A-lister, could alienate even her most loyal fans. Social media is already unforgiving. TikTok clips breaking down the contradictions are racking up millions of views. YouTube commentary channels are framing this as the beginning of the end for Perry's public goodwill. And in the court of public opinion, once that tide turns, it's almost impossible to reverse. August 21st is the moment everything could crack wide open. The courtroom will decide the legal outcome, but the public has already started writing the verdict in their minds. And it doesn't look good for Katy Perry. No matter what the judge decides on August 21st, this case has already left a permanent mark. The veteran's family wants justice. Katy Perry wants victory. And Chris Pratt, he just wants out. But in the fight between celebrity power and public perception, the court of opinion always speaks loudest.